So now let's do the questions related to direct, indirect or narratives. Like from questions 1 to 15, 115, a sentence has been given either in a direct or a indirect speech out of the 4 alternatives suggested. So in question number 1 to 115, a sentence has been given in direct or indirect. Out of the 4 alternatives suggested, suggest the one which best expresses the same sentence in the direct/indirect, which means the instruction says if the question is in the direct speech, you have to change it to the indirect, and if it is in the indirect, you have to change it to the direct. So first thing is we will identify whether it is direct or indirect, and then appropriately we will select the right answer. Now let's look at the first question. It says, may you live long and prosper, said the old lady to her son. This is the direct speech. Now we have to change it to the indirect speech, right? Now when we look at the first thing is, this is the past, right? Now what she has done, it is what type of the sentence? Here is the sentence where somebody is giving you the blessings, right? So she is blessing her that may you live long and prosper. So the very first thing is we identify what kind of the sentence it is. It is operative sentence, and we know that this old lady is giving her blessings that may you live long and prosper. So the first thing is in the reported speech, when we'll change it, the word blessing should come. So the old lady congratulated, we'll read vertically, right? So congratulated, she's not congratulating, so we'll remove it. The old lady prayed, she's not praying, she's blessing, right? So again the old lady prayed for her son. Again this is wrong because she is not praying. The old lady blessed her son. So forget about the other things. With one particular identification itself, so quickly we have identified that D is our right answer. Clear? However, to move further and to solve something else also, see, we got our answer quickly with the help of identifying that it is the operative sentence and she's giving the blessings. But still let us see, right, what we have done. She has may you live long and prosper. So obviously the subject over here is son. She is giving a blessing to her son and prayed for his long life. So you refers to what? So to her son. So you is the second person. It will take the number of son, right? So it will change as per the son. Son is like you live. So it is his long life. So it is his long life and prosperity. So remember all the rules and your question will be correct. We can get rid of A, B and C. Next one. Many happy returns of your birthday, we said. Now here what is happening? It's again what type of a sentence? You are giving the blessings to someone. You are wishing someone, right? So you are wishing the happy birthday to somebody, right? So let's have a look at the first thing what we needed. It should state that somebody is wishing birthday. So it says we greeted him. No, so the next question is, he said to Sita, when do you intend to pay back the money you borrowed from me? Right? So we know this is a direct speech. We have to change it to the indirect. Now here also in indirect also, this is interrogative sentence, which is starting with the WH word. So which means we have to use when over here, right? While changing it. Again here the object is there because the second person you is there. So the second person you will change as per the Sita, right? So instead of you we have to put she. This is in the past, right? So if this is in the past, we have to see which tense this verb is. This tense is in the simple past. It is in the past, but this is in the present, right? So if it is in the simple present, it will change to the simple past. It will change, right? Again, you will be changed as per the Sita. Me is the first person. Me will change as per he, right? We have done this. Let's see. So she is inquiring. Now to will also not be there. He inquired Sita. He inquired Sita. He inquired Sita. All are fine. Now after that, we will remove this comma and quotations and we need to use when. So all the places we have when. Then The rule says when you're changing it, this helping verb will not be there. Immediately after the when, you should have the subject. Now, instead of you, we will have she. So, when did she? We don't need did, right? So, which is why A will go away. When she, when Sita. We cannot use the name, right? So, you don't use noun. It changes the, it's a absurd English. So, D is also gone. Now, we have to choose between B and D. So, this is how the process of elimination will be helping you. So we know now the next thing is intent has to change to simple past, right? Because this is in the past tense. Reported verb is in the past tense. So we need intended to pay back the money, intended to pay back the money, right? So you borrowed. Borrowed is in the past, right? So this is in the simple past. If this is in the simple past and this is also in the past, we know that the simple past changed to past perfect. This is the rule which we have done. So she borrowed and borrowed, the same cannot be there. I need she had borrowed. So had borrowed is correct. Because of this, we will get rid of B and C is our right answer. Apply all your rules, you will never get any mistake, right? See, I have not done anything. There's no rocket science. It's just the rules which we have done. Step by step, I have followed, and I told you to use the process of elimination and read vertically. Don't read the sentences horizontally. You will get confused. Then you will come and say, ma'am, everything is looking same. All the answer choices are same. Pay attention. Not everything is same. Right? So be very careful with it. So help me heaven, I cried. I never steal again. Now this is the exclamatory sentence, right? So we have already discussed then when the we don't know that who is speaking, that time we have to change it as the always consider it as he. We will always consider that some he male gender is speaking. Now what he has done, he has exclaimed. This is what we wanted. We know it very clearly that he exclaimed. Now what he is saying, so help me heaven. So he is telling heaven, he is exclaiming and he is saying heaven, I will never see you again, so help me, right? So he wanted heaven to help him. No, you don't want, he was not, it was not like that. So you don't need the reporting verb wanted over here. He is not wanting, he is calling out to heaven, right? He is calling out directly to heaven. So he is not wanting. He exclaimed to heaven. He is not exclaiming also. Again, here also the reported verb is wrong. He exclaimed heaven. He is not exclaiming heaven. He is calling out to heaven. So he called upon heaven. This is the right thing. So just see one reported verb, how it is being used. Use that and then your answer will be correct, right? So D is the right answer. Let's read it out completely. He called upon heaven to witness his resolve never to steal again. Clear? Let's move away. We can get rid of A, B and C. Next sentence. She said, I will give you ₹1,000 to keep your mouth shut. Now this is what? This is the direct speech. We have to change it to indirect speech. Now what is this reported verb? RV. Reported verb said is in the past. Now when this is in the past and the reported speech is in the future tense, this is in the future. So what we know, will changes to would. So this will definitely change to would, right? So now she said, I will give you. So what she is doing, she is offering or she is suggesting. What she is doing, she is proposing. I will give you 100. She gave a proposal that I'll give you 1,000 rupees, you keep your mouth shut, right? She said no, this will not be the right one, right? So she offered, she suggested, she proposed. Now some of you may say that offered, suggested, proposed, we are confused, all are looking fine. So obviously we can keep it on a hold because as of now you're not really very sure about it. Could be anything, but actually she's giving the proposal. So the one glance, if you know about the proposal, you'll go ahead with D. Still we'll see. Now to remove this quotation and comma, we'll use the that. So that is used over here. She offered him. There's no that used over here. She suggested to him. There's no that used over here. Right? So we can get rid of B and C because there is no that given over here. The connection should be proper. Right? So first the reported verb is also wrong. Then the that is also not right. Clear? Now she would give. Will is changing to would. That she would give him You changing to, we have told the object is not given, you have to consider it always as he. So we say he, say we have him 1,000 rupees to keep his mouth shut. So everything is fine. The only difference in between A and D is in between said and proposed. Now we know that proposal is the correct reporting verb. So D is the right answer and we'll get rid of A. Clear? So the reporting verb also will help us to get the answer. Focus on that also. Next, doctor, the patient cried. Please tell me how much time I have. Now again we know that this is a exclamatory sentence, right? So who is crying? The doctor, the patient cried. Please tell me how much time I have. Yes, he is requesting. He is pleading over here. So we know that he is pleading over here. He is crying over here. He is requesting to tell over here. Right? And he is pleading, he is saying please, requesting, kuch to he is doing it, right? So the doctor, patient cried. Now the patient, the doctor, how much time she will have, this does not make sense. It is completely wrong because there is no reporting verb which is used, right? We know the patient cried to doctor, right? So the patient is talking to doctor. So that is how the sentence has to start with the word patient. So the patient exclaimed to the doctor. No, the patient is not exclaiming to the doctor, or he is exclaiming, because there's exclamation is there. How much time do I have? So let's keep it on a hold. The patient pleaded with the doctor. The reporting word pleaded is wrong. He's not pleading. Patient cried to the doctor. He's not crying. He's exclaiming it. So the patient exclaimed to the doctor that how much time she had. So the reporting verb help, we get to know that B is the right answer. C and D are wrong. Let's give a party, said Jaya. Let's not, said her husband. So we focus on this, that said and said both are in the past tense. So we know that Jaya is giving a suggestion that let's give a party, right? So let's have a look at what Jaya suggested, let's give a party. So now Jaya suggested, everybody is saying all the answer choices are same, giving a party. Yes, giving a party. So Jaya suggested giving a party is fine. But then when we know that this first part and the second part both are in opposite direction, we have to use the but over here. Now what is happening over here, the next one? But her husband, because her husband answered. Obviously, her husband has answered to this suggestion. So, but her husband opposed the idea. Her husband contradicted her. Her husband refused. Now, what we know over here is answered in the negative is better because we can't use opposed. If you say oppose the idea, when the answer is simply no, when changing to direct to indirect, it says to reply to negative. When it's simply no, right, then it has to be replied to negative. We cannot say oppose the idea. We cannot say the same reason. We cannot say contradicted her. Because when the answer is simple no, it has to be replied in negative. So either you say answered in negative or replied. We cannot say her husband refused, because in indirect speech, when the straight answer no is there, that time we have to say replied in negative. So all these things are wrong. We'll get rid of B, C and D. Mark A as the right answer. Next one. She said to her, did it shake up as much as it shook me? So he said to her, did it shake you up as much as it shook me? So what we understand over here, this is the direct speech, this is in the past tense, and this verb is also in the past, this verb is also in the... So the first thing is, we know that we have to remove 2 from the answer choice, right? So it has to be he asked her or he inquired her, he inquired of her or he inquired her. So we don't need this of her, so we can get rid of B and C. Moreover, it is in the past tense, so it has to be changed. It cannot be shook. It has to be past perfect. So because of this verb, it is changed. So she asked her. So he asked her. Till here everything is fine. The answer is yes or no. So if is also fine. It is perfectly fine. it is the third person, so it will remain same, right? Why this is it only? Because it is the third person and we have learned that third person remains same. The shake is in the simple past. It has to change into the past perfect. So had shaken, had shaken. You changes as per her, so it will be her, her. As much as it shook him. So shook is in the past, right? So it has to change into the, it cannot remain shook. It has to be the third form, shaken. So it has to be, it had shaken me. So it has to be again into the past perfect only. So we can't have shook, we have to have the had shaken. Past perfect, past perfect. So the answer is D. Go one by one, look at the question, keep looking into the answer choices. Very easily, very clearly you can get the right answer. Next, the Chief Minister said, what a disaster the earthquake is. It's again an exclamatory sentence. So the Chief Minister said, what a disaster the earthquake is. Is he happy over here or sad? His exclamation is there, so he is exclamating, right? Exclamation is there, but it is not happy, he is sad, right? He is unhappy about it. He has to show his unhappiness. So the Chief Minister cried. Is it okay? No. The Chief Minister expressed with surprise. There is no surprise. He is not crying. He is exclamating. The Chief Minister exclaimed with sorrow. Yes, he is sad. So he exclaimed with sorrow. Chief Minister told in pain. Told will not come. Told will come only when this is the Chief Minister told to someone, tells to someone or said to someone. So that too is not there. The object is not there. So told will not come at all. So the reporting verbs are wrong in B, C and D. The only report B, A, B and this. Only in the C the reported verb is fine. So the answer is C. Now let's see what that the earthquake was a terrible disaster. So we know that is changes to was. That's it. Next one. I said to her, all your faults will be pardoned if you confess them. Now if this sad is there, we know that because this to object is there, said will change to told, right? So I told her. It has to be I told her. First thing we have to check that this A is saying just told her. So because the I subject is missing, this will go. I told her that, I told her that, I told her that, I told her that. All B, C and D are correct. All your faults. So your will change as per her, right? So it will be all her faults. So all her faults, all her faults, all her faults. Everything is fine. Now will be changed to would, right? So would be pardoned, will have to be pardoned is wrong, would have to be pardoned. It should be just will would be pardoned. We don't need would have to be pardoned and all. So this is wrong. So we'll get rid of C and D because the verb is wrong. So we'll have the right answer as B. Just do vertically, you will definitely get your answer. Next one. Teacher said to the student, why were you absent yesterday? It's again the interrogative sentence which is coming in the middle, right? So in indirect speech, we first know that this question mark should not come, right? The answer is not yes and no. So that means in the transition, when you're using the conjunction, that why only will be used, right? We don't use that over here. So said will be changed to asked. To will not be there. So let's see this. The teacher asked the student why. So again the teacher asked the student why. It is fine. The teacher informed the students. This informed is wrong. We'll get rid of C. The teacher asked the student why. Again that is why. That why is given. So C is perfectly wrong over here. Now next what we have to change is why were you absent. So were is what? Were over here is in the this is also past we have discussed, and this is also the past. It's a simple past. It will change to past perfect, right? So now the another thing what we have done in the assertive sentence is what happens when we are changing it to the assertive sentence. We immediately after the why we will not put the verb. First thing is we need to change it in the past perfect. Secondly, after why we need the subject. You is the subject, right? So then student is there, we can use it as he because had been is the past perfect, but then this is not, the subject is not used over here. So it will be wrong. Why had he been? Again, this is wrong because the after why we need the subject. We cannot have the helping verb, right? So why he had been absent is the right thing. So we'll mark D as the right answer. We'll get rid of A and B. Follow step by step. Your answer will be correct. Now, though we got our answer, I just want you to focus on one more thing to revise, that when yesterday is there, yesterday changes to the previous day. The previous day is correct, right? The next day is not, right? From one of the windows of my flat, I can see the Qutub Minar. I said to my friend. This is the reporting verb is in the past, right? To my friend. So said will change to told, and to will not be there. So we will remove this. My friend told that. My friend said that. My friend said that. My friend told that. So said will definitely not be there. It will change to told. So we can get rid of B and C because the reported verb we don't need said, we need told. So that from one of the windows of his flat is fine. He could see the Qutub Minar. So from one of the windows of his flats he can see the Qutub Minar. What's the difference between A and D, right? So we know that if can is there, it will change to could. So here we have used could, here we have used can see. So the verb is wrong over here. So we will remove D and will mark A. Shankar said to his friend, look out, there is a snake behind you. Again the exclamatory sentence is there, right? So we know that when this is there, the said changes to told, right? We don't need to over here, and directly it will be Shankar told his friend. So we have Shankar told his friend. Shankar exclaimed to his friend. We don't need this to over here. He is not exclaiming over here. With surprise is not there, right? So seeing a snake behind, there is no subject given over here. So we can get rid of C. Shankar warned that there is no, he is not giving the warning over here. So with that we get to know A is the right answer. Next, the teacher said to Ram, would you like to go on a trip to Kashmir? Ram said yes. Now here we know that teacher is asking something, right? So we can say the teacher asked Ram. We don't need to over here. So the teacher asked Ram,